Dude, I'm going to tell you a story that if I hadn't lived it myself, I wouldn't believe it. Picture this. You wake up on a regular Monday morning thinking about how you're going to pay this month's bills, and out of nowhere you get the phone call that changes your life forever. Man, I'm talking about a ride worth $5,000 for one day of work. 5 grand. You're probably thinking, oh, must be some rich businessman, right? Wrong, my friend. It was Cristiano Ronaldo, the guy my son idolizes, the greatest player in the world, chose me as his personal driver. And what happened that day? Man, this isn't just about soccer. It's about how life can turn upside down in a matter of hours. But before I get to that insane part of the story, let me tell you who I am and how it all started. Because, brother, you need to understand my life before that crazy day to grasp the magnitude of the change that happened. Hey everyone, first things first. If you don't know the channel yet, hit that subscribe button below because every week I bring you real driver stories that will blow your mind. And hit the notification bell because the stories I tell here, man, they're truly spine-chilling. Alright, let's go. My name is Junior. I'm 34 years old, been married to Carla for 8 years, the love of my life, who puts up with me through all the struggles. We have 2 kids, Miguel, who's 6 years old, and Sophia, our little princess who's 4. Listen, Miguel is obsessed with soccer, especially Cristiano Ronaldo. His room is completely decorated with CR7 posters. He has the jersey, which was a struggle to buy, let me tell you. He has action figures, everything. The kid goes to sleep and wakes up talking about Cristiano. Every day he asks me, "Dad, is Mr. Cristiano famous?" She asked. "Yes, sweetheart. He's a soccer player." "Oh, like Miguel wants to be?" Cristiano laughed. "That's right, Sophia. Your brother is going to be a great player." During the trip to the house where they were staying, Cristiano explained to me, "Junior, we rented a house here in Beverly Hills to be more comfortable. Hotels with kids are complicated." When we arrived at the house, man, it was a mansion. Electric gate, huge garden, giant pool, a place I only saw in movies. Miguel whispered in my ear, "Dad, is Cristiano's house like a castle?" The kids hit it off right away. Miguel and Cristiano Jr. ran off to the garden, Sophia went to play with Eva, and Mateo came to show me a new ball he had gotten. Georgina made a point of showing Carla around the house, and the two got along great. Carla, who had always been shy, was talking naturally with her. I stood there observing that surreal scene. My family at Cristiano Ronaldo's house, all the children playing together as if they were longtime friends. That's when Cristiano called me to talk in the backyard, away from everyone. "Junior, can I tell you something?" "Sure." He took a deep breath and said, "Man, meeting you guys today reminded me why I play soccer." I didn't understand. "What do you mean?" "It's just that sometimes in this life of fame, money, pressure, we forget what really matters. Family, love, simplicity." He looked at the children playing, seeing Miguel's joy just from me being here, seeing you guys working together to take care of the family. Man, that really touched me. "Cristiano, you're an inspiration to many people, but today you guys were inspiration to me," he interrupted. "Me. And I want to tell you something that few people know about me." He looked at the horizon and continued, "My childhood in Portugal was very difficult, Junior. My father was an alcoholic. My family went through a lot of hardship. There were times when we didn't have anything to eat. I was surprised. Really? Really. And seeing you guys today, fighting, working, taking care of the children with so much love, you reminded me of my family at that time, of my mother fighting alone to raise 4 children." He turned to me. "Junior, you're a warrior, like my father should have been, but couldn't be." Man, I got emotional with that conversation. Seeing Cristiano, who is the most successful guy in the world, talking about difficulties, about family, about values. "And I want to make you a proposal," he continued. My heart raced. "What proposal?" "You know Los Angeles very well. You're a reliable person. You have a beautiful family. I want to help you start a tourism company." I didn't understand. "What do you mean?" "A company specialized in receiving important people who come to visit Los Angeles. Celebrities, businessmen, politicians, people who need discretion and trust. You'd be perfect for this." I was in shock. Cristiano, I don't know anything about running a company, but I can teach you. I can give you the right contacts, introduce you to important people. What do you think? Man, I didn't know what to answer. It was an opportunity I never imagined could exist. But what if it goes wrong? It won't go wrong. I believe in you. And look, tonight I have a charity event here in Los Angeles. I want you to come with me. I want to introduce you to some important people. At that moment, Carla appeared in the backyard. Junior, sorry to interrupt, but the girls are asking to see the pool. Cristiano smiled. Of course, let's all go to the pool. And that's how we ended up spending the entire afternoon at Cristiano Ronaldo's house. The children played in the pool. Georgina and Carla became friends. And I was living the most surreal day of my life. But there was still the evening event. And what happened there, man, that changed my life forever. Man, I swear to you guys that when I saw Cristiano Ronaldo walking toward my car, my heart raced so fast I thought I was going to have a heart attack. My hands started sweating cold. My voice disappeared. I just couldn't process what was happening. The assistant, who I later found out was named John, came closer to the window and said quietly, "Junior, I need you to stay calm and act naturally. My boss chose you specifically because he needs someone ordinary, discreet. Can you do that?" I looked at Cristiano approaching and said, stuttering, Man, is this really real?" John chuckled and confirmed, "It's real. And look, he's a super chill person, treats everyone with respect. Just act naturally." Man, when Cristiano got to the car door, he knocked lightly on the window and gestured for me to roll it down. I rolled down the window with my hand shaking, and he leaned in, took off his sunglasses, and spoke with that Portuguese accent everyone knows. "Hello, you're Junior, right? Nice to meet you." People, the guy's voice in person is exactly like on television. I stood there for a few seconds just looking at him, not believing it. Then I realized he was waiting for an answer, and I said, Hi, Mr. Cristiano. Wow, man, I can't believe you're here." He gave that famous smile of his and said, "You can just call me Cristiano, okay? May I get in?" I quickly got out of the car to open the back door for him, but he gestured with his hand and said, No need for that. Can I sit in front?" Man, imagine my head at that moment. Cristiano Ronaldo wanting to sit in the passenger seat of my 2014 Civic. I said, Of course. Make yourself comfortable." He got in the car, adjusted his seatbelt, looked around the interior of the car with curiosity and said, "Nice car. Is it really yours?" Man, I felt awkward because the car isn't anything special, right? It's a used Civic, with some scratches, the seat a bit worn, but he spoke with genuine sincerity. I replied, "Yes, it's my work tool for about 3 years now." "That's awesome. You must know all of Los Angeles then, right?" "I do, every corner." Then John approached the window and said, "Cristiano, I'll explain the situation to Junior, okay?" Cristiano confirmed, and John started, explaining to me, "Look, Junior, Cristiano is in the US for a charity event that's happening tonight. But before that, he wanted to have a normal day in Los Angeles, get to know the city like a regular person." I looked at Cristiano and he added, "That's right. I'm always in 5-star hotels, expensive restaurants, formal events, but I wanted to know the real America, you know? See how you live, where you go, what you do day to day." John continued, "The problem is that his official drivers are too flashy. Armored cars, entourage, it draws too much attention. That's why we had the idea to hire a regular driver who would go unnoticed." Cristiano turned to me and said, "John researched well-rated drivers on the app, and your profile caught our attention. You have a high rating. Passenger comments say you're polite, punctual, reliable, and you have a family, right? That's important to me." Man, I felt like I was in a dream. Cristiano Ronaldo had researched my Uber profile. I said, "Wow, this is unbelievable. So will you accept being my driver for today? I guarantee it'll be a different day for you too." I thought about the $5,000 John had mentioned, but at the moment it wasn't even about money. It was about the craziest experience of my life. I said, "Of course I accept. It would be an honor." Then Cristiano looked at his watch and said, "Perfect. But there's one thing. I won't be alone. My family is with me. At that moment, my heart raced. Again. Your family? Yes, Georgina and the kids. They're finishing getting ready upstairs. Will that be a problem? I looked at the size of my car and thought, how is everyone going to fit in here? But I said, no problem at all. John laughed and said, actually, we'll need another car for the security guys, but you'll go in your car, more discreet. While we waited for the family to come down, Cristiano kept talking to me. He asked about my life, about my kids, about what it was like working for Uber. Man, the conversation flowed so naturally that I even forgot I was talking to the most famous guy in the world. You have kids, right? John told me you have a boy who likes soccer. I do. Miguel, 6 years old. He's your #1 fan. His room is completely decorated with your photos. Cristiano's eyes lit up. Really? That's cool? And does he play soccer? He does. He's just starting at a little academy near home. His dream is to be a player like you. That's awesome. You'll have to show me some photos of him later. At that moment, a group of people came out of the hotel. And man, when I saw Georgina, wow, the woman is even more beautiful in person. She came walking with 4 children, Cristiano Jr., who must be about 11, Eva and Matteo, who are twins about 4 years old, and Alana, who was in her arms. When they got close to the car, Cristiano got out and went to greet the family. Georgina gave him a kiss and looked at the car curiously. She said something in Spanish, and Cristiano responded in English. Love, this is Junior, our driver for today. Junior, this is Georgina, my wife. I got out of the car to greet her. Very nice to meet you, Mrs. Georgina. She smiled super sweetly and spoke in English. Hi, Junior. Nice to meet you. Thank you for agreeing to drive us today. Man, the humility of these people is impressive. Then Cristiano introduced the children. This is Cristiano Jr., my firstborn. These are the twins, Eva and Matteo. And this, little princess, is Alana. The children greeted me super politely. Cristiano Jr. even spoke in English. Hi, uncle. Cool car. Now came the part of fitting everyone in the car. Georgina sat in the back seat with Alana on her lap. Eva sat in the middle, Matteo on the other side. And Cristiano Jr. had to sit in front with me because he's the oldest. Cristiano went back to the passenger seat and said, Is everyone comfortable back there? Georgina laughed and said, Yes, love. It's actually nice, being close together like this. I started the car and asked, So where do you guys want to go first? Cristiano thought for a bit and said, Do you know any nice park here in Los Angeles? A place where the kids can play, but that isn't too crowded? I thought and said, I do. Griffith Park has a more secluded area with a playground. It's beautiful there. Perfect. Let's go there. While I drove, the children talked among themselves, mixing English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Georgina was enchanted with Los Angeles, commenting on the buildings, the movement, the people. Los Angeles is really big, isn't it, Junior? She asked. It is, Mrs. Georgina. One of the biggest cities in America. You can find everything here. Cristiano Jr. got curious about the driver work. Uncle Junior, do you work every day driving? Every day, yes. That's how I support my family. Cristiano turned to me and said, Must be tough, right? How many hours do you work per day? About 12 hours usually. I leave home at 5 a.m. and only come back at night. He looked thoughtful. Wow. And do you like what you do? Look, I won't lie that it's easy, but it's honest work, right? And it allows me to be with my family every day. Different from when I worked at the factory. Georgina became interested. You worked at a factory before? I did. I was unemployed about 3 years ago and then I started with Uber. In the beginning it was difficult, but now I'm used to it. When we got to Griffith Park, I got a bit worried. Guys, there are always people here. Are you sure you want to stop here? Cristiano smiled. I am. It's part of the experience. I parked the car and everyone got out. The children got excited about the park, ran to the playground. Georgina started taking photos with her phone. And Cristiano just stood there observing everything with a smile on his face. And that's when exactly what I feared started happening. Some people started noticing him. First it was an elderly lady who passed by and looked twice. Then a couple who was walking stopped and started whispering. I got tense and said, "Cristiano, I think they're recognizing you." He looked around and saw people staring. And you know what he did? Instead of running away or calling security, he went toward the people and said, "Hi, how's it going? Are you enjoying the park?" The lady who had noticed him first couldn't believe it. "My God, you are? You're Cristiano Ronaldo?" He smiled. "I am. Ma'am, what's your name?" "I'm Mrs. Johnson." "My God, I can't believe it. My grandson is your fan." "That's cool, Mrs. Johnson. Where is your grandson?" "He's not here. But can I take a photo with you to show him?" "Of course you can." And so began an impromptu photo session in the middle of the park. More people kept coming, but Cristiano was super patient with everyone. He took photos, signed autographs, talked. I was impressed with his simplicity. No star attitude, no rush. He seemed genuinely happy to meet American fans. But then something happened that really marked me. There was a kid, must have been about 8 years old, playing soccer alone in a corner of the park. Cristiano noticed the boy and went to him. "Hi, champ. Can I play soccer with you?" The boy looked at him without understanding who he was, but was happy. "Sure, mister." Cristiano grabbed the ball and started doing some tricks, teaching the boy some moves. That's when a woman approached, the boy's mother. When she saw who it was, she almost fainted. "My God, you are..." "I'm Cristiano, and this here is a superstar. What's your name, champ?" "I'm Johnny," the boy answered, still not understanding the magnitude of what was happening. The mother introduced herself as Maria and explained that she was there working. She was a cleaner and always brought her son along because she had no one to leave him with. And it was at that moment that I saw a side of Cristiano that the media never shows. He started talking to Maria about her life, about the difficulties, about the dreams she had for her son. Man, the conversation was so natural, so human. Cristiano wasn't doing that to show off. There were no cameras. There was nothing. It was just genuine. When we finally left the park, he was thoughtful. In the car, he asked me, "Junior, are there many people like Maria here in Los Angeles?" "Unfortunately, yes. It's a harsh reality." He was quiet for a while and then said, "You know what I want to do. Now, I want to have lunch at a typical American diner. Nothing fancy, you know. A place where people like Maria would have lunch." I thought and said, "I know a perfect place. A diner in Venice Beach. Home-style food, good prices. The owner is a really cool old man." "Perfect! Let's go there." On the way to the diner, the children talked about the games at the park. Georgina commented on how welcoming and warm Americans were. The atmosphere in the car was super relaxed. But it was at that moment, when I was driving super calmly, thinking the day couldn't get any better, that my phone rang. It was Carla. I answered on speaker. "Hi, honey." Her voice was altered. "Junior, you need to come to the school right now. Miguel had an episode. He's having trouble breathing. The teacher is saying it's better to take him to the hospital." Man, my world collapsed at that moment. Miguel has had asthma since he was little. And when he has an attack, it's really serious. I said, "What do you mean he had an episode? Is it very serious?" "He's having a lot of trouble breathing, Junior. I'm already going to pick him up, but you need to meet us at the hospital." I hung up the phone and was desperate. Traffic was heavy. I had Cristiano's family in the car. I couldn't just abandon them, but my son needed me. Cristiano noticed my desperation and asked, "Junior, what happened? Did something happen?" I explained the situation, saying that my son had asthma and was having an episode. And then Cristiano did something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. He looked at me and said a phrase that changed everything. "Family is priority, Junior. Let's go get your son right now." Man, when Cristiano said, "Family is priority, let's go get your son right now," I was speechless. I looked at him thinking I had heard wrong. "What do you mean?" "But what about your plans? You guys came to see Los Angeles." He interrupted me. "Junior, I'm a father of 4 children. If it were one of mine having an episode, I'd want someone to help me. Where is Miguel's school?" Georgina, who had heard the whole conversation, leaned forward and said, "Junior, don't worry about us. A sick child is an emergency." Man, I was so emotional I almost cried right there. I said, The school is in East LA, but it's far from here. Doesn't matter. Let's go now. What's the fastest route? I pulled up GPS and traced the route. It was almost 40 minutes in heavy Los Angeles traffic. During the trip, Cristiano kept, calming me down. Stay calm, Junior. Asthma is serious, but with proper treatment, everything will be fine. Cristiano Jr. also had some episodes when he was younger. Cristiano Jr. confirmed, "It's true, Uncle Junior. When I was little, my dad always got super worried. But now I'm fine." Georgina added, "It's true. We understand exactly what you're going through right now." Halfway there, I called Carla to see how Miguel was. She said she had already left school and was going to Children's Hospital, which was where we always took him when he had attacks. "Honey, how is he?" I asked, worried. "He's conscious, but with a lot of trouble breathing. I'm in the taxi going to the hospital now." "Okay, I'm already on my way. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. When I hung up, Cristiano asked, "Has he had attacks before?" "Yes, unfortunately. Since he was 3. We already know that when he has an attack, we have to rush to the hospital. And is treatment expensive?" I sighed. "It's pretty expensive, yes. Carla's health plan doesn't cover everything, so there's always something left for us to pay. But we manage, right? Children are priority." Cristiano got thoughtful and didn't say anything more about the subject. But I noticed he exchanged some looks with Georgina through the rearview mirror. When we got to the hospital, I stopped at the emergency door and said, "Guys, can you wait here in the car? I'll just go see how Miguel is and come right back." Cristiano got out of the car. "With me?" "No, I'm coming with you." "Cristiano, you don't need to. You'll draw attention at the hospital." He put on a cap and mask that he had in Georgina's bag. "This way nobody will recognize me. Come on, I want to meet your son." We entered the hospital together. Carla was at the emergency reception, super nervous. When she saw me, she ran to hug me. "Junior, thank God you're here." They took Miguel inside. They're giving him a nebulizer treatment. That's when she noticed the guy in a cap and mask next to me. She looked at me curiously, and I said quietly, "Honey, let me introduce you. This is Cristiano." He took off the mask for a second for her to see his face, and she almost fainted. "I don't believe you are." "Hi, Carla. Junior told me a lot about you. How is Miguel?" Man, Carla was speechless. She stuttered. He's inside. The doctors said that he'll be fine." At that moment, the nurse arrived. "Miguel's family?" All 3 of us stood up, and she continued, "The boy is better now. The nebulizer worked. You can see him now, but only 2 at a time." I looked at Cristiano. "Do you want to go with me?" "Only if you want me to. He's your son." "I do want you to." We entered the emergency room, and there was Miguel, lying in bed, with an oxygen mask, but already much better. When he saw me, he smiled. "Hi, Daddy." "Hi, my son. How are you feeling?" "I'm better now. The doctor said I can take this mask off soon." That's when Miguel noticed the man in the cap next to me. Cristiano approached the bed and said, "Hi, Miguel. I'm your dad's friend." Miguel looked at him curiously. Cristiano slowly took off the cap, and man, Miguel's reaction was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. His little eyes widened, his mouth opened, and he said, whispering, "Daddy, Daddy, it's Cristiano Ronaldo." I confirmed, "Yes, son. Cristiano came to meet you." Miguel tried to sit up in bed quickly, but Cristiano made a gentle gesture. "Easy, champ. Stay lying down there. How are you feeling?" I can't believe you're here," Miguel said, still whispering, as if he was afraid it was a dream. Cristiano sat in the chair next to the bed. "Your dad told me you like soccer. Is that true?" "I do. You're my favorite player in the whole world." "That's cool. And do you play soccer too?" "I do. I train every Wednesday and Saturday. My dream is to be a player like you." Cristiano's eyes sparkled. "Awesome. And what position do you play?" "I play forward, like you." "Perfect. And tell me, have you ever scored a bicycle kick goal?" Miguel laughed. "Not yet, but I practice every day in our backyard. My dad made a goal for me." Cristiano looked at me. "Your dad is a very special guy, Miguel. He told me he works hard to take good care of you and Sophia." "It's true. My dad is the best dad in the world." At that moment, the doctor arrived to examine Miguel. "Dr. Rodriguez, who already knew us from other attacks. When he saw Cristiano there, he was surprised, but maintained his professional posture. Miguel is much better. The attack was controlled. He can be discharged in an hour, but he'll need to continue treatment at home. The doctor called me aside to talk. Junior, Miguel's asthma is becoming more frequent. It would be important to do some more specific tests. Consult with a pediatric pulmonologist. Okay, doctor. How much does that cost? Look, with your plan, it'll cost about $2,000 more. But it's important to define a more specific treatment. Man, $2,000 was almost my salary for a whole month. I played it cool and said, "Okay, doctor, we'll see how we can manage." Cristiano, who was talking to Miguel, noticed my conversation with the doctor. He approached and said quietly, "Can I talk to the doctor?" I introduced Dr. Rodriguez to Cristiano, and they talked for a few minutes about Miguel's case. The doctor explained about asthma, about the most modern treatments, about the importance of specialized monitoring. Meanwhile, Miguel wouldn't stop asking Cristiano questions. "Do you know Messi? Is it true you train every day? How many goals have you scored in your life?" Cristiano answered everything with incredible patience. He showed photos of his kids on his phone, talked about training, about the routine of a professional player. "Miguel, can I tell you a secret?" Cristiano said, leaning close to the bed. "You can. When I was your age, I also had lung problems. It wasn't asthma, but my heart had a little problem that affected my breathing." Miguel was impressed. "Really? And how did you get better?" "With a lot of treatment, a lot of care, and mainly never giving up on my dreams." "Do you promise you'll never give up on your dream of being a player?" "I promise." "And do you promise you'll take good care of your health, take all your medicines, do all the tests the doctor asks for?" "I promise." Cristiano extended his hand. "Then let's make a champion-to-champion pact." They shook hands, and Miguel was beaming with happiness. At that moment, the nurse brought the discharge papers. Miguel could go home. While I signed the documents, Cristiano called Carla aside. "Carla, I know your financial situation is tight. I want to cover all of Miguel's treatment." Carla's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "All the tests, consultations, medicines, everything he needs until it's completely controlled." "No, Cristiano, we can't accept that." "You can. I'm a father. I understand what you're going through. And besides, your husband is providing me a service today. Let me return the favor this way." Carla started crying with emotion. I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything. Just take good care of Miguel." When we left the hospital, Miguel didn't want to let go of Cristiano's hand. At the door, Cristiano said, "Miguel, I have an idea. How about you come to my house to meet my kids?" Miguel looked at me in disbelief. "Dad, can I?" I looked at Cristiano confused. "Your house?" "Yeah, we're staying at a house here in Los Angeles, and the afternoon is still ours, right? Unless you have other plans." Carla said, "We don't have any plans, but what about Sophia? She's still at school." Cristiano smiled. "Then let's pick up Sophia too. I want to meet the whole family." And that's how our second stop of the day became Sophia's school. Picture the scene: Cristiano Ronaldo, Georgina, and their 4 children in my Honda Civic going to pick up my 4-year-old daughter from preschool. When we got to the school, Sophia came running toward me like she always did. But when she saw all those people in the car, she got shy. "Sophia, come meet some of Daddy's friends," I said. Cristiano got out of the car and crouched down to her height. "Hi, Sophia. I'm Cristiano. Your brother told me you're very smart." Sophia, who had no idea who Cristiano was, responded with childlike innocence. "Hi, mister. Are you my dad's friend?" "I am. And do you want to come to our house and play with the kids?" She looked at the children in the car and got excited. "I want to. Are there kids my age?" Eva, who was Sophia's age, waved from the window. "Hi, I'm 4 years old just like you." And so, our group grew even more. Now we were 9 people in the Civic. Me driving, Cristiano Jr. next to me, Cristiano, Georgina, Carla, Miguel, Sophia, Eva, Mateo, and Alana on Georgina's lap. The car was packed, but the atmosphere was incredible. All the children talking, Miguel telling Sofia who Cristiano was, Sofia impressed but not really understanding the magnitude of it. Dad? Man, when it was around 5 p.m., Cristiano looked at his watch and said, "Guys, I need to get ready for tonight's event. But first, Junior, can I see your house?" I felt awkward. "Cristiano, our house is pretty simple. Nothing like this place." He laughed. "Man, that's exactly why I want to see it. I want to see what real life is like for an American family." Georgina supported. "It's true, Junior. We're always in luxurious places. It would be nice to see a real home." Carla, who was already more comfortable, said, "Of course, you're very welcome in our little house." Miguel got excited. "Dad, Cristiano is going to see my room. He's going to see all your posters." And so, our group left the Beverly Hills mansion, heading to East LA, where we lived. On the way, I explained to them about our neighborhood. "Guys, it's very different. From Beverly Hills, it's a working-class neighborhood. Simple houses, some streets without proper pavement." Cristiano paid attention to everything. "That's cool, Junior. It's important to know all realities." When we got to our street, some people were already looking at the car full of people. Our neighbor, Mrs. Garcia, was sweeping the sidewalk and got curious. I parked in front of our house and everyone got out. Our little 2-bedroom house, small living room, little backyard. Man, at that moment I felt embarrassed, but Cristiano was admiring everything with sincerity. "What a cozy house. You can feel that a happy family lives here." Miguel pulled Cristiano by the hand. "Come see my room." We all went into the house. The small living room got crowded, but everyone made themselves comfortable. Cristiano Jr. was impressed. "Dad, look how they live so close together." Georgina complimented the decoration. "Carla, you have great taste. The house is small but very well taken care of." Carla blushed. "Thank you, Georgina. We do what we can with little." Miguel took Cristiano to the room he shared with Sofia. And man, when Cristiano saw that room, his eyes filled with tears. It was a simple little room, but full of love. Miguel's bed all decorated with Cristiano posters, a Real Madrid jersey hanging on the wall like it was a painting, a CR7 action figure on the nightstand. "My God, Miguel," Cristiano said emotionally. "Do you like it, Cristiano? This is my little corner. Every night before sleeping, I look at your posters and dream that one day I'll play like you." Cristiano crouched down to Miguel's height. "Man, this is a true fan's room. I'm very emotional." He picked up the CR7 action figure from the nightstand. "And this one? My dad bought that for my birthday. It was the present I liked most in my life." At that moment, Cristiano looked at me. "Junior, can I talk to you outside?" We went to the little backyard, and he was visibly emotional. Man, this really touched me. Seeing Miguel's devotion, seeing how you guys value simple things. It's our reality, right? We do what we can. But that's exactly what impresses me. You guys are rich in the way that matters. In love, in unity, in character. He looked at the house. "Junior, I grew up in a house similar to this. My mother raised 4 children alone in a small space, with very little money. It must have been difficult." "It was very difficult. My father drank a lot, was violent. Sometimes, my mother worked as a cleaner to support us. I remember nights when we went to sleep hungry." Man, hearing this from Cristiano Ronaldo was surreal. The most successful guy in the world telling me about a childhood of hardships. "But you know what saved me?" he continued. "Soccer? Soccer, yes, but mainly my mother's love. Just like the love you and Carla have for your children." He turned to me. "That's why I want to help you, Junior. Because you remind me of the man my father should have been. Hardworking, dedicated, present." At that moment, our neighbor, Mr. Martinez, arrived, who always dropped by our house. When he saw all those people in the backyard, he got curious. "Hey, Junior, everything okay? Visitors today?" I introduced. "Mr. Martinez, these are friends of mine. Cristiano, this is Mr. Martinez, our neighbor." Cristiano greeted Mr. Martinez naturally, without revealing who he was. But Mr. Martinez kept looking at him like he knew him from somewhere. "Young man, your face is familiar. Aren't you from television?" Cristiano smiled. "Ah, sometimes I appear here and there." We went back inside the house, where the children were all playing together. Sophia was showing her dolls to Eva. Miguel was teaching Cristiano Jr. to play video games on our old PlayStation 2. Uncle Cristiano, Sophia called, "Do you want to see my favorite doll?" Cristiano crouched down to talk to her. "I do, princess. What's her name?" "Her name is Anna, like my grandma who lives in the countryside." "How beautiful. And do you take good care of her?" "I do, just like my mom takes care of us." Sophia's innocence touched everyone. Georgina commented to me, "Junior, your children are very well-mannered. Congratulations to you and Carla." That's when Carla came out of the kitchen with fresh coffee. "Everyone, who wants some coffee? I made it with love." Cristiano was the first to accept. "I do. I love American coffee." We all sat at our little living room table, the small table for 9 people, some sitting on the couch, others on kitchen chairs that Carla brought. But the atmosphere was incredible. Cristiano tried Carla's coffee. "Wow, Carla, this is the best coffee I've had in America." She was beaming. "Thank you. It's freshly brewed coffee, the way my mother taught me." Cristiano Jr. commented, "Dad, it's really nice here. Why don't we stay more time in houses like this?" Georgina laughed. "Because we always stay in hotels, son. But you're right, here is very cozy." It was at that moment that Miguel asked a question that moved everyone. "Cristiano, do you miss your house when you were little?" Cristiano stopped with the cup halfway to his mouth. "Wow, Miguel, what an important question." He thought for a bit. "You know what? Yes, sometimes I really miss those simple times when the whole family gathered around a small table like this." Miguel continued, "Even being poor?" "Miguel," Carla scolded, "don't ask that." But Cristiano gestured. "No, Carla, it's okay. It's an honest question." He looked at Miguel. "You know, champ, I learned that being rich or poor isn't about money. It's about love. And you guys are the richest family I've met in a long time." Man, at that moment everyone got emotional. Carla wiped away a tear. I felt a lump in my throat. Sophia, who didn't understand the conversation very well, asked, "Uncle Cristiano, are you going to sleep here today?" Everyone laughed, and Cristiano replied, "No, princess, I have to work tonight. But I'd love to spend more time with you guys." That's when he looked at his watch. "Speaking of which, Junior, it's almost time. The event is at 8, and it's almost 6. I remembered. "Right, and you said I was going with you." "Of course you are. But," he looked at our clothes, "we need to take care of some things first." Carla asked, "What kind of event is it?" "A charity dinner. There'll be businessmen, artists, important people, and I want to introduce Junior to them." I got nervous. "Cristiano, I don't have clothes for that kind of event." "Leave that to me," he smiled. "John, can you come here?" His assistant, who had stayed outside the house the whole time, came in. "Yes, Cristiano? I need you to get a suit for Junior. Size." He looked me up and down. "Size 42, right?" "Yeah, about that. And for Carla, too." "An elegant dress." Carla's eyes widened. "What do you mean for me?" "Of course. You're going together. Family is family." I protested. "But what? About the kids?" Georgina offered. "If you want, I can stay with them. Together with my children, it would be even more fun." Miguel got excited. "Really? We're going to stay with Cristiano's family?" Sophia clapped. "How cool! Let's play more." John left to get the clothes, and Cristiano continued. "Junior, this event is important. There'll be people there who can help you with the company we talked about. But I don't know how to talk to these important people." "You don't need to know. Just be yourself. Talk about your life, your family, your work. Your story is more interesting than anything they have to tell." Carla was nervous. "Junior, I've never been to an event like this," Cristiano reassured her. "Carla, you're an elegant, intelligent woman. Just be natural." An hour later, John came back with the clothes. A navy blue suit for me, dress shoes, tie. For Carla, an elegant black dress and some heels. When we got dressed and came out of the room, man, even I was surprised. We were unrecognizable. Cristiano whistled. "Wow, you guys look beautiful. You look like different people." Miguel looked at us. "Dad, you look like a prince, and Mom looks like a princess." Sophia agreed. "Mom is so beautiful." Georgina hugged Carla. "You look stunning. You're going to kill it at the event." When it was time to leave, Miguel pulled me aside. "Dad, are you going to meet important people today?" "I am, son." "Then tell them I'm going to be a player like Cristiano, okay?" I laughed. "You got it, champ. I'll tell them." When we were leaving, Mrs. Garcia, our neighbor, was on the sidewalk again. When she saw me in a suit, she almost fell. "Junior, how elegant. Where are you guys going like that?" "Ah, Mrs. Garcia, a work event." She looked at Cristiano, who was still wearing a cap. "And this handsome young man? Is he family?" Cristiano laughed and spoke with a Portuguese accent. "I'm a family friend, ma'am." "Ah, what a beautiful accent. Are you Portuguese?" "I am." We got in the car, now a Mercedes that John had arranged, and headed to the event. On the way, Cristiano prepared me. "Junior, when we get there, there'll be a lot of important people. Businessmen, artists, politicians. Don't be intimidated. What if I say something stupid? You won't. And if you do, it's part of it. They should adapt to you, not the other way around." Carla asked, "Cristiano, why are you doing this for us?" He thought for a bit. "Because you guys reminded me of what's important in life. And because, well, you'll understand when we get there." When we arrived at the event location, a 5-star hotel in West Hollywood, I was impressed. Red carpet, photographers, a luxurious entrance that I only saw on television. "Cristiano," I said nervously, "are you sure about this?" He smiled. "I'm absolutely sure. Now take a deep breath, because your life is going to change from now on." And man, he wasn't kidding. What happened at that event was something I never imagined could happen in my life. Man, when we arrived at the hotel, my heart was beating so hard I thought everyone was going to hear it. The entrance was surreal. Red carpet, photographers everywhere, security in suits, luxury cars arriving all the time. Cristiano got out of the car and immediately the flashes started going off. He waved to the photographers and then gestured to me and Carla. "Come on, guys, together," I whispered. "Cristiano, the photographers are going to want to know who we are, and I'm going to tell them exactly who you are," he replied with a smile. We went up the hotel stairs together. The reporters were shouting, "Cristiano, who are your guests? Cristiano, a statement." He stopped and spoke into the microphone. "These are my friends Junior and Carla, a very special family I met today here in Los Angeles." A reporter insisted, "How did you meet?" Cristiano looked at me. "Junior was my driver today, and I discovered in him a family that taught me a lot about true value." Man, I was dying of embarrassment, but at the same time feeling like the most important guy in the world. We entered the event hall and, wow, it was like a movie. Giant chandeliers, tables decorated with expensive flowers, waiters serving drinks in crystal glasses, and the people, everyone in expensive clothes, jewelry, watches that cost more than my house. Carla whispered in my ear, "Honey, I feel like I'm in a soap opera." Cristiano introduced us. "Junior, Carla, you're at the Hope Foundation charity dinner. Tonight we're going to raise funds to build schools in underserved communities." He took us to a table. And man, look who was sitting with us. The president of one of Brazil's biggest companies, a famous actress from a major network, an American basketball player, and a businessman I had seen on Forbes. When we sat down, everyone was curious about us. The businessman asked, "So you're an Uber driver, Junior?" "Yes, sir." "How interesting. And how was it, driving for Cristiano?" Before I could answer, Cristiano said, "Actually, it was much more than that. Junior showed me the real America today." The actress became interested. "What do you mean?" Cristiano told about our day, the park, the hospital, our house. But he told it in a way that made our story seem heroic. You guys need to see this man's dedication to his family. He works 12 hours a day to give the best to his children. And when his son had an asthma attack, his priority was family, not work. The company president was impressed. "How beautiful. And how many children do you have, Junior?" "2, sir. Miguel, 6 years old, and Sophia, 4. "And what do they want to be when they grow up?" "Miguel wants to be a soccer player like Cristiano. Sophia doesn't know yet, but she's very smart." The conversation flowed naturally. They asked questions about our life, and I answered honestly. Carla, who was shy at first, also started talking. In the middle of dinner, Cristiano stood up. "Guys, excuse me, I'm going to the restroom." He signaled for me to come along. On the way to the restroom, he stopped me in a private corner of the hotel. "Junior, can I tell you something?" "Sure." He looked around to make sure nobody was listening. "Man, today was one of the most important days of my life." I was surprised. "What do you mean?" "It's just that I'm going through a very difficult time personally." "Difficult how?" He took a deep breath. "Family problems that the media doesn't know about. Pressures you can't imagine. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and don't know who I really am anymore." Man, seeing Cristiano Ronaldo saying this was shocking. Everyone expects me to be perfect all the time. On the field, at home, in interviews. I can't have a bad day, I can't be human. "But you're the most successful guy in the world." And that's exactly the problem, Junior. Success sometimes becomes a prison. You can't be spontaneous anymore. You can't be simple. He looked at the hall full of important people. "See all those people there? Most of them just want something from me. Money, fame, contacts. Very little is genuine. And what does this have to do with me?" "Everything." He got excited. "When I got in your car this morning, for the first time in a long time, I felt normal. You treated me like a person, not like a celebrity. But I was nervous as hell. But it was genuine nervousness, human. It wasn't self-interest. And when you worried about your son, man, that touched me deeply." He leaned against the wall. "You know, when was the last time someone put family ahead of an opportunity to make money with me?" I thought, I don't know. "Never, Junior, never. Everyone always prioritizes what I can offer." "Man, but my son was having an episode." "Exactly. And that's what impresses me. For you, being a father is more important than anything. And that reminded me of when I was a child." He got emotional. "My father never prioritized family. He always prioritized drinking, bar friends, anything but us. It must have been very difficult. It was terrible. I swore I'd never be like him. But sometimes with all this craziness, I get lost. I forget what's important." "But you're a present father." "I am, but I could be better. And seeing you today, seeing how you act with Miguel and Sophia, man, you inspired me to be a better father." At that moment, I understood that this day wasn't just about my life changing. It was about two people helping each other. That's why I want to help you with the company, Junior. It's not charity. It's because I believe in you, and because I need genuine people in my life. "What do you mean?" "I want you to be my representative here in America. When I need something in Los Angeles, when my friends come to visit, I want it to be you who takes care of them." "But what if it goes wrong?" "It won't go wrong. I believe in you. And look, tonight I have a charity event here in Los Angeles. I want you to go with me. I want to introduce you to some important people." We went back to the hall, and I was with my head spinning. During the rest of dinner, Cristiano introduced me to several important people, and he always talked about me like I was someone special. "This is Junior, my friend. He's going to take care of my business here in Los Angeles." A businessman from the hotel industry became interested. "Really? What kind of business?" Cristiano explained. "VIP tourism. Junior knows Los Angeles like nobody else, and has the perfect profile to take care of important people." The guy gave me his card. "Call me next week. I always receive important clients who need discreet and reliable service." This happened about 5 times during the night. Businessmen interested in my services, even though I didn't have a company or anything yet. During the official event speech, Cristiano went up on stage. He talked about the importance of education, about giving opportunities to underprivileged children, about investing in America's future. And then he did something nobody expected. Before I finish, I want to tell you about a very special person I met today. My heart raced. "Junior, can you come up here on stage?" Man, I was paralyzed. Carla nudged me. "Go, honey." I went up on stage shaking. There were about 300 people looking at me. Cristiano put his hand on my shoulder. "This man here taught me something very important today. He taught me that heroism isn't scoring goals in Champions League finals. Heroism is working 12 hours a day to support your family with dignity." The audience started applauding. Junior has 2 children. When his son had an episode this afternoon, he didn't hesitate to put family first. And that, my friends, is what makes someone a true champion. The applause got louder. That's why I want to announce that I'm going to fully cover his son's medical treatment. And more than that, I'm going to offer a complete scholarship for both his children, from now until college. The audience stood up to applaud. I was too emotional to say anything. And there's more, Cristiano continued. I want to introduce to you the new director of my foundation here in America, Junior Santos. Man, at that moment I almost fainted. Director of his foundation. Junior will take care of the social projects we're going to develop here in Los Angeles, especially in education and sports for underprivileged children. When we came down from the stage, several businessmen came to talk to me, offering partnerships, investments, opportunities. One of them said, "Junior, if Cristiano trusts you, we trust you too. Count on us for whatever you need." At the end of the night, when we were leaving, Cristiano handed me an envelope. "Don't open it now. Only open it when you get home, with the family." "What is it?" "A surprise. But first, answer me something. Do you accept being director of my foundation?" "Man, I don't know anything about foundations." "You'll learn, and you'll have all the support you need. What matters is that you have the right heart for it." Carla approached. "Junior, accept it. It's the opportunity of our lifetime." I looked at Cristiano. "I accept, but with one condition." "What?" "I want you to be godfather to both my children, not just Miguel." He smiled. "Deal. And I want you guys to come visit me in Portugal on vacation." In the car going back home, Carla and I couldn't process everything that had happened. "Honey," she said, "our life changed forever today." It did, but at the same time, we're still the same people. That's true, and that's what Cristiano likes most about us. When we got home, the kids were sleeping on the couch, all snuggled together. Georgina had taken care of everyone. "How was the event?" she asked. "Unbelievable," I replied. After Cristiano's family left, Carla, the kids and I gathered at the living room table to open the envelope. Inside was a letter, a foundation contract, and something that made us cry with emotion. But what was in that envelope? Man, you'll only find out in the next chapter. Because what Cristiano put in there wasn't just about money. It was about making dreams come true that we didn't even know we could dream. Man, when I opened that envelope at the kitchen table, with Carla by my side, and the kids still sleeping on the couch, my life literally changed again. First, there was a handwritten letter from Cristiano in English. "Junior and family, today you gave me something I hadn't received in a long time. Authenticity. In return, I want to give you something I know you'll value. Opportunity to grow without losing your essence. This is just the beginning of our friendship." Then there was the foundation contract, naming me as regional director for Los Angeles, with a salary that, man, was 3 times more than I made driving all year. But the real surprise was at the end. 5 plane tickets to Portugal, paid accommodation for a week, and an official invitation to watch Cristiano play at Santiago Bernabéu Stadium in Madrid. Carla read it out loud and started crying. "Junior, he wants us to take the kids to see Europe." I was speechless. I looked at Miguel and Sofia sleeping, hugging each other on the couch, and thought, how am I going to explain to them that they're going to see Cristiano Ronaldo's house in Portugal? But there was one more thing in the envelope, an official paper from a private clinic saying that all of Miguel's exams and treatments were already paid for and scheduled for the rest of the year. Carla, he didn't forget any detail. At that moment, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Cristiano. "Junior, I hope you like the surprises. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. there's a meeting at the foundation office. John will pick you up at home. Sleep well, my friend. Your new life starts tomorrow." Man, I couldn't sleep well that night. I kept staring at the ceiling thinking, is this really real? Am I not going to wake up and find out it was all a dream? The next day, at exactly 10 a.m., John arrived at our house, but not in the Mercedes from the day before. He came in a simpler car and explained to me, "Junior, from now on you'll need to maintain discretion. Your life is going to change, but Cristiano wants you to continue being who you are." He took me to a commercial building in West Hollywood. Nothing too luxurious, but elegant. On the 10th floor there was a sign, Hope Foundation, USA. When I entered the office, man, it was surreal. A team of about 10 people working, modern computers, a beautiful view of the city, and an office with my name on the door. Junior Santos, Regional Director. John introduced me to the team. Everyone, this is Junior, our new director. He'll coordinate all social projects here in Los Angeles. A woman approached, Dr. Patricia. Hi, Junior. I'm the educational coordinator. Nice to meet you. Cristiano already told me about you. What did he say? That you understand the reality of American families like nobody else, and that your mission will be to identify schools and projects that really make a difference. Man, during the whole morning, they explained to me how the foundation worked. Education projects, sports, health, everything focused on underprivileged children. And my function was to visit the communities, understand the real needs, and propose solutions. It's exactly what I always did driving around Los Angeles, I thought. Getting to know people, understanding their lives, their difficulty. At lunchtime, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. Hello? Junior? This is Roberto Silva from Silva Tourism. We talked yesterday at the event. Can you have lunch with me today? I have an interesting proposal. It was one of the businessmen Cristiano had introduced me to. We agreed to meet at a restaurant near the office. When I got there, besides Roberto there, were two other businessmen. They explained, Junior, we're putting together a consortium of companies to offer VIP services here in Los Angeles. Tourism, transportation, accommodation, and we want you to be our main consultant. But I don't know anything about consulting. You don't need to know about consulting. You need to know about Los Angeles, and from what Cristiano said, you know every corner of the city. They offered me a partnership in a company that didn't even exist yet, but already had signed contracts with 3 major international corporations. The idea is simple, Roberto explained. When executives, artists, important politicians come to Los Angeles, they want more than 5-star hotels. They want authentic experiences, but with security and discretion. And that's where you come in, another businessman added. You'll create personalized itineraries. You'll be the face of the company. I went back to the foundation office with my head spinning. In less than 24 hours, I had become foundation director and partner in a luxury tourism company. Dr. Patricia noticed I was a bit lost. Junior, I know it's a lot of information at once, but Cristiano trusts you, and we here will give you all the support you need. It's just that yesterday I was an Uber driver. Today I'm all this, and tomorrow you'll be even more. But you're still Junior, Miguel and Sophia's father, Carla's husband. Nobody can take that away from you. At the end of the afternoon, when I got home, Carla was in the kitchen preparing dinner. The kids were in the backyard playing. Honey, how was the first day? I told her everything. The office, the team, the businessmen's proposal. Junior, it seems like our life really turned into a soap opera. But you know what's most incredible? I'm feeling useful. For the first time in my life, I feel like I can make a difference in other people's lives. Miguel came running from school. Dad, the teacher said, you know Cristiano Ronaldo. Is it true? I had forgotten that the news from the event had already come out in the newspapers. A photo of us on stage was on the sports section cover. It's true, son. And is he coming back to our house? He is. And you know what else? We're going to visit him in Portugal. Miguel stopped breathing for a second. What do you mean? I showed him the tickets. Man, the reaction was the most beautiful thing in the world. He started crying with joy, hugged my legs and kept repeating, I'm going to see Cristiano's house. I'm going to see Cristiano's house. Sophia, who didn't really understand what was happening, asked, Dad, is Portugal far? It's on the other side of the world, Princess. And are we going by plane? We are. How cool. I've never been on a plane. That night, after the kids went to sleep, Carla and I talked in bed. Honey, do you think we deserve all this? Junior, if Cristiano Ronaldo believes in us, who are we to doubt? It's just that everything happened so fast. But you saw how he behaved with us. It wasn't pity. It wasn't charity. It was genuine admiration. True. And I promised him I wouldn't change who I am. And you won't. We'll just have more opportunities to be who we've always been. The following week, my routine changed completely. In the morning, I worked at the foundation, visiting schools, talking to principals, identifying projects that needed support. In the afternoon, I was developing the tourism company with the partners. We created LA Authentic Experience, a company specialized in showing the real America to important people. My first client was an American actor who came to film a movie in Los Angeles. Instead of taking him only to famous tourist spots, I put together an itinerary that included lunch at a family home in Chinatown, visit to a social project in East LA, salsa lesson in a community center. The guy was enchanted. Junior, in 20 years of career, I've never had such an authentic experience in America. And this started becoming my brand, authenticity. I took clients to know the real America, not the postcard America. A month after the day I met Cristiano, he called me. Junior, how are things going? Unbelievable, Cristiano. The foundation is going great. The company already has clients. That's awesome. And how are Miguel and Sophia? Miguel won't stop bragging at school that you're his godfather. Sophia drew a picture for you. How sweet. Save it for me. I want to see it when you guys come to Portugal. Speaking of which, when do you think we can go? How about next month? I have a week off. Would that work? Man, organizing the trip to Portugal was crazy. Kids' passports, vaccines, clothes. But the craziest thing was seeing Miguel's anticipation. He made a list of questions to ask Cristiano. 1. How do you kick so hard? 2. Do you really train every day? 3. What was the hardest goal you ever scored? 4. Do you know Pelé? 5. Can I play soccer in your backyard? Sophia made a drawing of our family together with Cristiano's family, everyone holding hands. The night before the trip, I was packing when Miguel asked me, Dad, will Cristiano continue being our friend when we come back? Of course he will, son. Real friendship doesn't end. And will you continue working with him? I will. Our partnership is just beginning. And man, I was telling the truth. Because what happened in Portugal, the things Cristiano showed me there, the plans we made, together, that opened my mind to possibilities I didn't even know existed. But this part of the story, the trip to Portugal, what happened there, and especially the discovery that changed everything about how this casual day really happened, you'll find out in the next chapter. Because there's something I haven't told you guys yet, something I only discovered months later, and that made me understand that that day wasn't luck or coincidence. It was something much more incredible than that. Man, the trip to Portugal was surreal. Picture the scene. Me, Carla, and the kids at LAX International Airport, with business class tickets to Lisbon. Miguel wouldn't stop talking. Dad, do planes have TVs? Is the food good? How long until we get to Cristiano's house? Sophia, who had never been on a plane, was impressed with everything. Dad, the plane is big like a house. During the flight, I kept thinking about how my life had changed in 2 months. From Uber driver to foundation, director, company partner, and now going to visit the most famous guy in the world at his house. When we arrived in Lisbon, a driver was already waiting for us with a sign, Santos Family. He took us straight to Cristiano's house in Quinta da Marinha, in Cascais. Man, when I saw that house, holy cow. It was a real palace, huge gardens, giant pool, ocean view. Miguel pressed his face against the car window. Dad, is this the house, or is it a hotel? Before I could answer, the house door opened, and Cristiano Jr. came running out, followed by the other children. And right behind them, Cristiano himself, in shorts and t-shirt, with that big smile. You made it! I missed you guys so much! The children greeted each other like they were old friends. Miguel and Cristiano Jr. ran off to the garden. Sophia went to play with Ava, and Mateo came to show me a new ball he had gotten. Georgina received Carla with a warm hug. Carla, so good to see you. How was the trip? During that week in Portugal, I experienced things I never imagined. It wasn't just about the luxury of the house or the incredible trips. It was about how Cristiano treated us, like real family. On the second day, he called me to talk in his office. It was an incredible room, full of trophies, photos with famous people, golden balls. Junior, I want to show you something. He opened a drawer and took out a folder full of papers. Remember I told you my childhood was difficult? I remember. So, about 5 years ago, I created a secret project, a kind of search. He showed me the papers. They were reports from an investigation company. What kind of search? I wanted to find families in America that reminded me of my family when I was a child. Hard-working, honest families who fight every day but don't lose their values. I got confused. I don't understand. Junior, do you think it was coincidence that I chose you as a driver that day? My heart started beating faster. What do you mean? He laughed. Man, for 6 months I've had a team researching Uber drivers in Los Angeles. Specific profiles, family men, well-rated, clean record, who really needed an opportunity. Man, I was in shock. You're saying that I chose you on purpose? Yes. He showed me a complete dossier about my life, my Uber history, passenger comments, even photos of our house. Cristiano, is this real? It's real. And you were chosen from over 200 candidates. I sat in the chair not believing. But why? Because your profile was perfect. Dedicated father, honest worker, united family, simple but legitimate dreams. And especially, you had a son passionate about soccer. He leaned forward. Junior, I didn't just want to do charity. I wanted to find a family to adopt, not literally but spiritually. A family I could help grow, and that at the same time would remind me of my origins. But what if I had been a jerk? What if the chemistry hadn't worked? Then I would have made up an excuse, and that's it. But I knew that wouldn't happen. How did you know? He showed me more papers, testimonials from my Uber passenger. Polite and helpful driver, talked about family with so much love, person of character, works hard for his children. Man, I researched you for months. I knew you were special. At that moment, everything made sense. Why he accepted going to the hospital. Why he was so interested in our family. Why opportunities appeared so fast. And John? Did he know? Of course he knew. He was the one who coordinated all the research. I spent a few minutes processing all that. Then I asked, Cristiano, did you do this because you feel guilty for having money? No, Junior. I did this because I need genuine people in my life. And because, he paused, because I want my children to grow up knowing families like yours. What do you mean? My children were born in luxury. They'll never go without. They'll never know what it's like to struggle to pay rent. But I want them to learn about values, about simplicity, about real love. He looked out the window where the children were playing together. See how Cristiano Jr. and Miguel got along? It's because you taught Miguel values that I want my son to learn too. And now? What happens now? Now you're part of our family forever. It's not about money. It's not about business. It's about real friendship. That night during dinner, I told Carla everything when we were alone in the room. Honey, he researched us? He did, for months. And are you upset? I thought for a bit. You know what? No. Actually, I'm even flattered. Imagine, among so many families in Los Angeles, he chose ours. It's true. And what matters is that everything that happened after was genuine, right? Exactly. The friendship we built, the affection for the children, that was real. The next day, Cristiano took me to see his social projects in Portugal. Schools, sports centers, inclusion programs. It was impressive to see how he really invested in children's education. Junior, I want to do the same thing in America, and I want you to be my right hand in this. But I'm still learning, and you'll continue learning. But you have something I don't have. You know the reality of American families from the inside. He showed me the plans. 5 schools in underserved communities in Los Angeles, 10 sports centers, university scholarship program. Man, this is going to cost a fortune. Junior, I make more money in 1 month than I can spend in a year. I prefer to invest in real changes. On the 3rd day, something happened that moved me forever. Cristiano took me to see the house where he was born, in Madera. It was a simple little house on a narrow street, very similar to ours in Los Angeles. His mother, Mrs. Dolores, still lived there. Junior, this is my mother. Mom, this is Junior, who I told you about. Mrs. Dolores hugged me like she had known me for years. Ah, you're Junior. Cristiano won't stop talking about you and your family. During lunch, she told stories of his childhood, the difficulties, the struggle, the dreams. Junior, you have children similar to Cristiano when he was little, dedicated, dreamers, but with their feet on the ground. On the way back to Cascais, Cristiano was emotional. "Junior, my mother loved you guys. She told me your family has the same energy ours had when I was a child." "Cristiano, can I ask you something?" "Sure. Do you have other projects like ours? Other families you chose?" He laughed. "No, man. You guys are unique. You were the first and, well, after meeting you, I realized I don't need anyone else. I found what I was looking for." On the fourth day, what Miguel was waiting for most happened. We went to watch Cristiano train at the training center. Man, seeing my son stepping on the same grass as his idol, playing soccer with him, was indescribable. "Dad," he told me in my ear, "I can die happy now." Cristiano heard and laughed. "Miguel, you're not going to die. You're going to grow up and become a great player." He grabbed a ball and said, "I'm going to teach you a special trick, but it's our secret, okay?" And there, on that field in Portugal, my 6-year-old son learned an exclusive move from the greatest player in the world. On the last day of the trip, Cristiano called me for another private conversation. "Junior, I need to ask you a favor." "Go ahead." "When you guys go back to America, I want you not to tell anyone that I researched you beforehand. Let people think it was coincidence." "Why?" "Because if the media finds out, it'll become a circus, and I don't want you guys to be unnecessarily exposed." "You got it. It's our secret." He gave me an envelope. "This is for you to open only when you get to America. More surprises?" "Always," he smiled. At the airport, at the time of farewell, it was emotional. The children cried. Carla hugged Georgina like they were sisters, and I gained an older brother I never had. "Cristiano, how can I thank you for all this?" "By being happy, Junior, by continuing to be this incredible family you are, and by always keeping me informed about how you guys are doing." During the flight back, I kept thinking about everything I had discovered. The most famous guy in the world had planned our meeting, had researched our family, had chosen us. But you know what was most incredible? Even knowing it was planned, I felt that everything was true. The friendship, the affection, the concern, none of that was fake. When we arrived in America, I opened the envelope he gave me at the airport. Inside was a deed, the deed to our house. That's right. Cristiano had bought our house from the landlord and transferred it to our name. Along with it was a note. "Now you'll never have to worry about rent again. The house is yours, forever. With love, from the Ronaldo family to the Santos family." Carla cried when she read it. The children didn't understand very well, but were happy when I explained that now that was our house for real. And that's how I discovered that that day that changed my life wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. It was the result of months of planning by someone who wanted to make a difference in the life of a real family. But the story doesn't end here, because a year later I discovered something even more incredible about this whole situation. Something that not even Cristiano knew. 1 year later, man, if someone had told me my life would change this much, I would never have believed it. Now it's March 2025, and I'm here in the office of LA Authentic Experience. Yes, our company grew so much that we moved to our own building in West Hollywood. From Uber driver to businessman, sometimes I look in the mirror and still can't believe it. The company became a reference in VIP tourism in America. We serve celebrities, international executives, politicians. Last month we received an Arab prince who wanted to know authentic America. I took him to have lunch at Mrs. Maria's house, that cleaner we met at the park with Cristiano. The guy was so impressed that he invested $2 million in a social project in her community. The Hope Foundation USA is flying too. We've already built 3 schools in underserved communities. We have 8 sports centers operating, and more than 200 children with full scholarships. Miguel, by the way, is at a private school now, but insisted on continuing to train soccer at the community project. "Dad," he told me the other day, "I want to play with kids who don't have the same opportunities I do." Cristiano taught me that soccer is about unity, not separation. Man, this kid makes me proud every day. At 7 years old, he already speaks English, Spanish, and is learning Portuguese. His asthma is completely controlled. Actually, the pulmonologist said he can play professional soccer without any problem. Sophia, who's now 5, became a little entrepreneur. She sells her drawings at school and donates the money to the social project. The other day she told me, "Dad, Uncle Cristiano taught me that when we have something we share." Carla, wow, Carla transformed. She's finishing her tourism degree, became project coordinator at the foundation, and is also taking a business management course. The warrior woman she always was, but now with all the opportunities she deserves. Our house in East LA remains the same. We didn't want to move. We renovated. It improved it. But the essence is there. It's our safe harbor. Cristiano always says, "The house is the heart of the family. Don't change the heart." Speaking of Cristiano, our friendship has only grown. We talk on WhatsApp almost every day. He follows every achievement of the children, every new company project, and whenever he comes to America, which is at least 4 times a year now, he stays at our house. Picture the scene, the most famous guy in the world sleeping on our sofa bed. Because he insists on staying with us. Mrs. Garcia, our neighbor, has already gotten used to the security guards on the street. But let me tell you what happened 3 months ago, which was the most incredible discovery of this whole story. It was a normal Thursday. I was at the office when I received a call from an unknown number. "Hello? Junior? This is Dr. Marina from Children's Hospital." My heart raced. It was the hospital where we took Miguel that day of the asthma attack. "Doctor, did something happen?" No, everything's fine. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about something curious. Can you come here today?" I rushed to the hospital, thinking about what it could be. Dr. Marina received me in her office with a folder in her hand. "Junior, do you remember the day you brought Miguel here with Cristiano Ronaldo?" "How could I forget? It was the day that changed our lives." "Well, I have something to tell you that's going to surprise you a lot." She opened the folder and showed me some old documents. 15 years ago, I was a resident here at the hospital, and I treated a Portuguese child who had a respiratory crisis very similar to Miguel's. My heart started beating faster. "Portuguese?" "Yes. It was a boy about 12 years old, came to America with his family for a soccer tournament. His father told me the boy had heart problems that affected his breathing." She showed me an old photo. "Look at this photo I took at the time. Man, when I saw that photo, I almost fell off the chair. It was Cristiano at 12 years old in a hospital bed with his mother beside him. Doctor, this is Cristiano Ronaldo, yes, except at the time he was just a Portuguese boy who dreamed of being a player." I was in shock. "But he never told me this, because he probably doesn't remember. He was very weak, kind of sedated, but I remember perfectly, especially because..." She paused and looked me in the eyes. "Because I told him the same thing I told Miguel, that with adequate treatment and determination, respiratory problems don't stop anyone from achieving their dreams." Man, at that moment everything made sense in an absurd way. "Doctor, do you think that he remembers something?" "Subconsciously, maybe. Sometimes the universe conspires in ways we don't understand." She gave me a copy of the documents. "I thought you'd like to know. It's an incredible coincidence, isn't it?" I left the hospital with my head spinning. Could Cristiano really not remember? Could that be why he connected so much with our story? Could that be what made him choose exactly our family? That night I called him. It was dawn in Portugal, but he answered, "Hi, Junior. Everything okay?" "Cristiano, I need to tell you something unbelievable." I told the whole story about Dr. Marina, about his consultation as a child, about the photo. Complete silence on the other end of the line. "Cristiano, are you there?" "Man," his voice was choked up. "I remember." "You remember?" "I do. Vaguely, but I remember. A very caring Brazilian doctor who told me I could achieve any dream." He paused. "Junior, do you think that that's why you identified so much with our story?" "I think so." "Wow. So when I chose you, subconsciously I was returning?" "It seems like it." He got emotional. "Man, this is unbelievable. The universe really has plans we don't understand." 3 days later, he arrived in America by surprise. He came straight to the hospital to talk to Dr. Marina. It was emotional to see the two of them meeting again after 15 years. She, now head of the pediatrics department. He, the greatest player in the world. But there, at that moment, they were just a dedicated doctor and a grateful ex-patient. "Dr. Marina," he said, "you changed my life when I was 12 years old, and now, through Junior, you did it again." She smiled. "Cristiano, I just did my job. But it's good to know that that Portuguese boy achieved all his dreams." Cristiano announced right then that he was going to renovate the entire pediatrics department of the hospital and create a center of excellence in childhood respiratory diseases. "It's going to be called the Dr. Marina Center," he decided, "so she can continue changing lives like she changed mine and Miguel's." Today, as I tell this story to you guys, Miguel is in the backyard practicing the moves Cristiano taught him. Sofia is drawing more cards to sell at school. Carla is studying for a college exam. And I'm here, reflecting on how incredible life is. An Uber driver who met the greatest player in the world, who discovered that this meeting was planned for months, who discovered that actually there was an even deeper connection than anyone imagined. And you know what's most incredible? None of this would have happened if I wasn't exactly who I always was: a dedicated father, an honest worker, a person who puts family first. Cristiano didn't choose me to change me. He chose me because I was already who he needed to find. Today, our company has 25 employees. The foundation serves more than 500 children. Miguel is on the soccer academy team. Sofia wants to be a doctor like Dr. Marina. And Carla is pregnant again. That's right, we're having another baby in the family. And we've already decided, if it's a boy, his name will be Cristiano. If it's a girl, Marina. Because this story taught me that sometimes life puts people in our path for reasons we only understand much later, and that it doesn't matter if you drive a Honda Civic or a Ferrari. What matters is the size of your heart, the strength of your values, and the love you have for your family. Next month, we're going back to Portugal, this time to baptize Cristiano Jr. as Miguel's official godfather in the church, where Cristiano himself was baptized. And I know this isn't the last adventure we're going to live together, because true friendship, the kind that's born from mutual recognition of values, that's for life. So if you made it this far listening to my story, I want to leave a message. Believe in yourself, work honestly, love your family, and always be open to the opportunities life offers. Because sometimes, on any Monday morning, the universe can put the person who's going to change everything in your car. And if you like this story, if it moved you or inspired you in some way, hit that like button down there, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and turn on the notification bell. Because I have many more stories to tell you guys. Driver stories that will make you laugh, cry, and believe that miracles happen every day on the streets of Los Angeles. And who knows, in one of these stories, you might recognize yourself too? Until next time, folks. And remember, life is crazy, but it's too beautiful not to be lived intensely. A hug from Junior, Carla, Miguel, Sofia, and our new baby who's coming. Thanks. Do you think I'll ever meet Cristiano Ronaldo? And I always answered, son, who knows? Maybe someday. Man, if I had known what was going to happen. Anyway, our financial life has always been pretty tight, you know? I've been working as an Uber driver for about 3 years, ever since I got laid off from the factory where I worked. Carla works at a store in the mall, earns minimum wage, and I work my butt off driving 12 hours a day to manage to make around $2,000 a month. I won't lie to you guys, some days are rough. Some days I wake up and think, my God, how am I going to pay rent this month? We live in a little rented house in Garden Grove. 2 small bedrooms, 1 tiny bathroom, a small living room. Nothing fancy, but it's our little corner, right? And those who've been following the channel for a while know I've already told several struggle stories here. Drunk passengers, people who don't want to pay, rides that get canceled halfway through. The life of a rideshare driver isn't easy, folks, but I always kept the faith, you know? I always believed it would work out. Now let me tell you about that Monday that changed everything. It was April 15th. I remember it like it was yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m., my standard time, had a quick coffee, kissed Carla and the kids who were still sleeping, and left for work. My goal was always the same: make at least $150 a day to manage to close the month in the black. The day started kind of crappy, to be honest. First ride I Accepted. The guy canceled when I was almost there. Second ride, I picked up a super rude passenger who spent the whole time complaining about traffic, as if I was to blame. He paid for the ride making faces, and even gave me a low rating. You know those days when you think, man, is this worth it? It was around 10 a.m. I was stopped at a corner near Beverly Hills, drinking coffee from a plastic cup I bought from a food truck, when the app made that little sound. Ping! I looked at my phone and saw Ride to Beverly Hills, 4.8 passenger rating, short distance. I thought, cool, this'll be quick. The passenger's name was Carlos Silva. Super common name, right? Nothing special. I accepted the ride and went to the address. It was a hotel, man, but it wasn't just any hotel. It was one of those super expensive hotels, 5 stars, the kind I never dreamed of setting foot in. You know those hotels that have a golden revolving door and a doorman in a suit? Yeah, it was one of those. When I got there, I already found it strange. There were some black cars parked in front, those with tinted windows. There were some guys in suits kind of watching the entrance. I thought, whoa, there must be some important businessman staying here. I stopped in front of the hotel and texted the passenger, I'm here, waiting out front. Usually people respond right away, right? But this guy took about 5 minutes to respond. And when he responded, it was just, coming down now. Man, I started getting nervous. I don't know, there was something different in the air. These black cars, these security guys. I thought, could this be something shady? Could this guy be running from something? And you guys watching, comment below. Has it ever happened to you that you felt something strange was about to go down? Because I swear I had a feeling at that moment. Then I saw a guy coming out of the hotel. A tall guy, well-cut hair, sunglasses, business attire. He looked at my car and started walking in my direction. I thought, must be him. But when the guy got close to the car, instead of getting in, he knocked on the window. I rolled down the window and he spoke with a strange accent. Are you Junior? I said, yes, sir. He said, perfect. My boss needs a discreet driver today. Do you have availability for the whole day? Man, I was confused as hell. Your boss? But the ride was ordered by Carlos Silva. He gave a little smile and said, it's complicated to explain, but I can tell you it'll be very worth your while. We're talking about $5,000 for the whole day. Man, when he said $5,000, I almost choked on my coffee. $5,000! I needed to work a whole month to make $2,000 and change. And the guy was offering $5,000 for one day? I said, $5,000 for the whole day. But what kind of work is this? He said, nothing illegal, don't worry. It's just driving. My boss needs someone reliable, discreet, who knows Los Angeles well. Do you have those qualifications? Man, right then I thought about Carla, thought about the bills, thought about the rent that was overdue. $5,000 would solve half our problems. But at the same time, I was suspicious. Who offers $5,000 to an Uber driver for one day? That's not normal. And guys, if you were in my place, what would you do? Comment below. I want to know your opinion. I told the guy, look, I need to know who your boss is before I accept anything. He gave another little smile and said, of course that's fair, but I need you to maintain total discretion about what you're going to see now, okay? I nodded, and the guy signaled to someone inside the hotel. And that's when, folks, that's when my life changed forever. Because coming out of the hotel, walking in my direction, was a figure I only saw on television, in games, in commercials. Man, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The guy who was walking toward us, my 2014 Honda Civic, silver, with a little scratch on the door, was Cristiano Ronaldo. That's right, what you heard. Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest soccer player in the world, was walking toward my car. I got so nervous that my hand started shaking. I thought, man, this must be a prank. There's no way Cristiano Ronaldo is getting in my car. But it wasn't a prank, folks. It was real, very real. And when he got close to the car and I saw that famous smile of his, those eyes, man, I almost fainted right there. But what happened next? What he told me? The things that went down that day? You'll only find out in the next chapter. And look, if you found this first part interesting, just wait to see what's coming. Because when Cristiano got in my car and explained what he wanted to do in Los Angeles, man, I discovered a side of him that nobody knows. A side that the media never shows. So hit that like button if you're curious to know what happened. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and turn on notifications because in the next part, I'm going to tell you exactly what Cristiano Ronaldo asked me to do, and why he chose exactly a regular Uber driver like me for this mission. And believe me, this story gets even crazier.